2025, Nick J. Francis channel. We are back. Arsenal take on Brentford today. First game of 2025. The very first game of 2025. We are the trendsetters. We're normally the first game, first in the alphabet in terms of the Premier League. And here we are again, another year. We had a fantastic 2024. Obviously, Arsenal didn't get the big trophies. We didn't win a trophy last season. But we're in a lot of competition. We're in the running for a lot of competitions this year. January transfer windows open. A lot to talk about. We're taking on Brentford. It will be a really, really challenging game. Brentford have been, a bit of a bogey team for us. We've had a couple of really bad days at Brentford, at the G-Tech Arena in recent years. But hopefully today is going to be a better day. We're looking at the team and there's lots to talk about in terms of the team, transfers, different things like that. So we're going to get into all of it. But I want to say thank you for everybody that's tuned in for 2024. It was a great year for the Nick J. Francis channel. Me and Shane appreciate everything. And we're going to do everything we can to make this year even better in 2025. Let's go through the lineup because there is a sickness bug. I don't know if anybody's heard about this, or if you don't know, there's sickness and illness going through the Arsenal camp. Some people, there's a conspiracy theory that maybe Arne Slot has been poisoning the Arsenal team. So there's some changes. We're still looking good. We do have Partey and Marino in midfield who haven't really played much together. So let's discuss it. At the back, we're back to what I think is, in Arteta's mind, the back five that he personally would want. David Raya in goal, Calafiori and Timber fullback, Gabriel and Saliba at centre-back. Solid back five. Let's see what Calafiori can do. He's going to be up against Brian Mbomo, who's a player we're going to talk about because he's a danger man for them and he's somebody that's potentially on the radar for Arsenal to go and sign. In the midfield, Thomas Partey, Mikel Merino and Ødegaard. Thomas Partey getting back into his starting position. Up top, Martinelli on the left, Jesus in the middle, and Ethan Nwaneri on the right. Obviously, Ethan Nwaneri, more of a central attacking midfielder, more of a number 10, and not really someone you think of as a right winger. However, he's young, he's moldable, he just wants to play football. Let's see what kind of job he can do at right wing. And then in terms of the bench, Tierney, Kivior, Zinchenko, 3 left backs on the bench. I guess Kivior, you could argue, maybe a bit of a centre back as well. Trossard's on the bench. Jorginho, Neto, Declan Rice, Miles Lewis-Skelly. Apparently Declan Rice is one of those hit with a sickness bug, and Kai Havertz as well. So no Kai Havertz in the squad today, and we pretty much know already that it would take something quite serious and severe for Mikel Arteta to not put Kai Havertz into his team because he seems to absolutely love him and put him in any chance he can get. But that's the team that we're going to go with today. So yeah, like we say, big sickness bug has gone through the Arsenal camp. Declan Rice has had to drop to the bench because he wasn't feeling great, and Kai Havertz out. Trossard on the bench as well, which means that Ethan Nwaneri is going to start on the wing, and I think that is probably the main big talking point for this game for the start of 2025. Obviously, Saka out with that injury. There's talk about whether or not he had surgery. Some people believe he has had surgery. Some people are saying Arteta's playing mind games. He hasn't had surgery. If he had surgery, he wouldn't be out for just 2 months. He'd be out for longer. Who knows? Brentford's team, Flecken in goal, Collins, Van der Berg, centre-backs, Lewis Potter, Ruislev at full-back as well, Janelt, Nurgaard, Damsgaard, Yarmouk in the midfield, and Wissa and Mboma up top. And listen, we know about this Brentford team already. We've played against them. We lost against them when they had Tony. We've got a good record against them now. Obviously, we did have that shock loss against them at the beginning of a couple of seasons ago. But I feel confident. I say confident. I feel reasonably confident going into this game. First game of 2025. Calafiori is the one we're going to have to keep an eye out on. He's had some injury problems since he's come in. He's had moments. Obviously, he got skinned by Savinho for that goal for Haaland's goal against City. But he's had a couple of moments where he's been a little bit shaky. But overall, I think we can see the sort of vision that Arteta wants. He did go and get that unbelievable goal against Man City after he got skinned by Savinho and we conceded that goal. We went out the other end and scored a banger as well. I think he's a really talented left back, highly thought of in Italy. Calafiori is definitely, you can see he's a talented player. There's a talented player in there, but he has yet to really show that sort of level. Ethan Nwaneri, we saw when Saka came in, he started off at left wing back. He played left wing back, right wing back, left wing, and eventually made his way to his starting position, which is now right wing. And people have to remember that he hasn't always been a right winger for the whole time he's been at Arsenal. So when I'm looking at Miles Lewis-Skelly, who's a centre mid and plays fullback, kind of like an Ainsley Maitland-Niles, when I'm looking at Wanyeri, who's just a general progressive attacker. He wants to play central, wide. He's happy to play anywhere in an attacking position. I think let's be flexible with these young players and allow them to just get into good attacking positions and play the game and not bog them down too much into positions. I'm all for that. It's difficult that it's happened at a time where we've forced it to happen. We do have Trossard on the bench. We saw Joshua Zirkzee getting subbed off 2 days ago for Man United after 30 minutes. We don't want Wanyeri to drop a performance like that where Arteta feels like we need to type him off. Obviously, United were 2-0 down as well. Arsenal, it's unlikely we're going to be 2-0 down in 20 minutes. But, just in terms of building up that player's confidence, let's hope that it's a performance he puts in and that the club are doing everything that they can to slowly build this player's confidence. Because, Miles Lewis-Skelly and even Wanyeri are both fantastic talents. Let's keep building them up slowly. That being said, good to see him getting a start. Like I say, he's not necessarily getting a start because Arteta wants him starting. He seems to be getting starts because obviously we've got injuries and different things like that. But that's fine. I think Harry Kane was the same. Bukayo Saka was the same. They started because they kind of had to, and then they took the ball by the horns and ended up becoming fantastic players. And let's see if Miles Lewis-Skelly can make the most of Ethan Wanyeri, and Miles Lewis-Skelly can make the most of these types of situations and try and nudge their way into starting positions as much as they possibly can, because I'm all for it personally. In terms of signings, big talk of another attacker coming in. Obviously, we need cover. We've got Raheem Sterling, who is not even in the matchday squad today. Arteta seems like he's not very impressed with him. He'd rather start Miles Lewis-Skelly or even Wanyeri or pretty much anybody over Raheem Sterling. We've got him on loan from Chelsea. He seemed to be kind of on the edge of winding down his career. That seems to be pretty much confirmed, given what he's put in at Arsenal. He's not really been at it. He's not looked great. He's got himself a couple of assists. I think he got a goal in a cup game. I think cup competitions are probably more where we're going to see him, when it's just a straight shootout. But when we want to kind of build and control the game, I think it's unlikely we're going to see Sterling too much. So certainly in the league, I don't think that we'll see him too much. There's whispers, big whispers. Fabio Vieira, who is one of the key players for Porto, was dropped or was not in the game because for tactical reasons that Porto said. Lots of people suggesting that he could be on his way back to Arsenal. Big talk that he may well be being recalled from Porto to come back to Arsenal early and cut that loan short. That may mean that we send Sterling back to Chelsea. Maybe we keep Sterling. I don't know. I'm not too sure. But in terms of signings coming in, big talk of Matheus Cunha, someone who's put in a lot of really good performances, really good progressive player, scores lots of goals. He's been really crucial and a standout player for Wolves so far this season. He plays centrally, not really a striker, kind of a second striker, number 10, kind of like a Joshua Zirkzee type of player. But he's been on fire. Big talk of us being linked to him to bring him in January with a view to bring in Isak in the summer. It looks like any deal for Isak or any deal for any kind of big name striker will probably not happen now. That'll probably be in the summer. But apparently in this January transfer window, we could be looking for someone to come in and cover and give us bolster our attack with, like I say, talk of Matheus Cunha quite strongly being linked, and also Brian Mbeumo, who is obviously we're up against today, who I think is a really fantastic player. I think Mbeumo would do really well. I think the fact that some people laugh at this, and I think it's true, I think the fact that he's bald makes people think that he's older than he is. He's only 25 years old. So he fits with sort of, not to worry too much about the sort of project. I'm getting a little bit detached from the project. We're at the point now where we want to be winning Premier League titles. And so if we are bringing in players that are older, more experienced, then that's fine. But Brian Mbeumo himself, I think, like I say, he's only about 25 years of age. Really solid player, gets amongst the goals, 18 matches so far this season, 10 goals and 2 assists in a Brentford team that's sort of knocking about the mid-table. That's not terrible. That isn't terrible at all. And I'll tell you what, let me have a look at where Brentford are in the table at the moment. They're 12th. So for a team that's 12th 10 goals, 2 assists. It's not bad at all. And when you're looking at top goal scorers in the league, I think, one more goal from Brian Mbomo and he's in that top 5. Salah's on 17, Haaland on 14, Isak on 12, Palmer on 12, Chris Wood on 11, and Mbomo's on 10. So he's in and around that sort of territory of one of the top players in the Premier League, certainly from a goal scoring perspective. So, someone that could definitely fit in with us. And again, Isak is the one that I'd really want, but that just isn't going to happen until such time as at least the summer. And apparently that's £150 million signing at the moment, if that's the price that Newcastle have put on Isak, because, they're an ambitious club as well. They've got their owners in. They want to get silverware, and they're not going to let go of any of their players for the cheap. So that's what it's going to be. In terms of key players for us, looking back to this game, Jesus has been on good form before Christmas. Let's hope that he can keep that up. He was scoring lots of goals, quite free-flowing football. I'm excited to see the link-up play between these three, because I think that they play similar one-touch and pass football. Ranieri is someone who I think when you play with a striker like Jesus or like Firmino, and I've said this before, they're very, very technical players, but they do these flicks and tricks and sometimes make it difficult to play alongside them because they're a bit unpredictable. You don't know what they're going to do. And I think actually someone like Ranieri fits that very well. He plays a somewhat similar style. He's not quite the level of Jesus and not quite the level of, obviously nowhere near the level of a Bobby Firmino, but he likes that. He likes that one touch, lay it off, flick pass in behind. I think that works for him really well. So that'll be interesting. Ødegaard, again, is going to be key. Ødegaard, we know, is the glue. How does Ødegaard float in between these two players and keep the momentum going? When we have Brentford push back, and there will be times in the game we have Brentford push back, what I'm looking for is, can Ødegaard find a pass to open the door? Can he keep recycling the attacks? And who is going to be the person to get the shot away? I think in a slow, controlled game, Martinelli doesn't really shine. But if it does become a bit of a basketball game where Mbomo is going to look to get forward and attack, and that's going to leave some space on that left-hand side, that's where Martinelli is going to be really, really crucial. He's much better as a player when he works off pure instinct, when he hasn't got time to stop and think about it, running with the ball and just drive at 100 miles an hour, basically. He hasn't really got the best technical control, but if he can just drive with the ball as fast as possible and put defenders on the back foot, Martinelli is still someone that can cause defenses a lot of problems. Thomas Partey, we know what he brings already. He owes us an annual banger of the year. I think he got one against Nottingham Forest. Let's see if we can get one for 2025 as well. Mikel Merino, interesting player to come in, very good at that left 8 role. Just not very technical. Spoke to James B about this from AFTV. James B agrees. Merino understands the role really well. His positioning, movement, awareness, and his understanding of that role is very, very good. But the final ball, just the final little finesse and technical side, he seems to struggle with, or just not quite have the finesse that we would like from a player of that level. He's a lot more up and down. He's a lot more mobile than Xhaka. He gets stuck in. I think that he can play that Granit Xhaka role. He seems to be just playing within himself. We've got to remember it's his first season. We are trying to compete for titles and things like that, but we have to remember, although he's 28 years old, this is still his first season in the Premier League. We've got to let him bed himself in a little bit, but this will be a big, big game against Brentford. A lot of physical battles. We're going for midfield 3. They play for midfield 4. So we're going to need Merino. His main skill set in midfield is winning physical duels and battling. We're going to need him to be able to do that today, and winning the ball back as quickly as possible. I'm already outlining in my head when I look at games, and after a game I judge players. I'm judging them by basically like what goals that I set out for them ahead of the game, And so for Merino, when we're not in possession, one of his core jobs is to win that ball back, break up the play and win that ball back. The back 5, their job is a lot more simple. I think Timber getting forwards is going to be crucial. Saliba's going to have a big job to do to cover Timber's position, because Timber's going to have to get forward and just support Ethan Nwaneri a bit, and just give him, like I say, a little bit of support and push up a little bit, give him a little bit more space to operate in, because obviously this is a new role for him. So we'll see. We're just about to see Brentford kick off. We are in that blue kit. I really like that kit. I don't think we have a lot of luck playing in it so far, but I do like the kit. And any minute now, there we go. Brentford have just kicked off. Make sure that you like the video and subscribe to the channel as well. We're trying to get to 5K subscribers. I think, who is that? Gabriel wins his first header, which is good. Brentford looking to go long. I don't think they're going to have a lot of success if they go long. And from Brentford's position, how are they going to try and break us down? They've got 2 attackers. They've got a midfielder that kind of sits in the 10. Damsgaard just sitting behind the 2 attackers. Is that going to be enough to break down Arsenal? Wissa's very good in the air, and Mbomo's pretty decent in the air as well. But they're going up against, the best defence in the league in the last couple of seasons. And this is what I mean. Nwaneri's just latched onto a ball. Brentford just trying to play out. Didn't quite work. And I think, that was Nwaneri that latched onto that ball. Now Ødegaard. And how much can he keep the game ticking? Some people criticise Ødegaard for lots of kind of backwards and sideways passes. And I don't criticise him, but I do think he's very conservative. His job, people compare him to Ozil because Ozil was the star number 10 at Arsenal, and they're very different players. Ødegaard is more of he's a creative player. He gets assists, but he's more of an 8. He's also the captain. Ozil's job was just to go on the pitch. Thomas Partey could be in here, gets the ball out to Jesus. Is it? Can Jesus get across away? Jesus gets it into the box. Partey. And we go back. Ozil didn't have the responsibility of being a captain or a leader. He could just go on the pitch and just try to get assist after assist after assist. Ødegaard has a lot more responsibility than that. He's a leader on the pitch. Has a great ball into Jesus. That's what I mean. Little touch and go between Jesus and Timber. That's exactly what I mean about Timber. Timber's pushing right up and taking the left back with him, and that's allowing Nwaneri a little bit of space to operate in. That's good play from Timber. Really good play from Timber. He hasn't done a lot, but just the movement and the positioning himself is making it a little bit awkward. Jesus is down. Doesn't look like a muscle injury, is he? Oh, he's just a bit winded. He'll be fine. I like what I'm seeing from Arsenal in the early part of this game already. Timber's doing a good job, like I say, getting himself into some dangerous positions. Lovely feet from Ødegaard and Timber. No foul? Yeah, Timber, he tried to buy that foul a little bit. He's just spun the full back and he went over a little bit too easy. The ref's not going to buy that one. But Timber getting up, getting himself in some good positions, just creating a little bit of space for Nwaneri a little bit of breathing room for Nwaneri to operate in. That's really, really good. Flecken's going to look to go long, is he? He is. And I think it's Wissa. He won that ball, flicked it on across to Mbomo, but Raya gathers it. David Raya, of course, against his old club, was at Brentford before we got him. Man like Amad Diallo, Happy New Year, my brother. Happy New Year. Martinelli's been taken down, and he's in some pain. But yeah, Wissa is very, very good in the air. Still shy at Arsenal in 2025. Mate, we've got the best defensive record in the last 2 seasons. We're going to sign Matthias Cunha this January. We're going to get Isak in the summer. Do you know what I'm saying? Don't worry about us. He's talking about still shy. Didn't you, man? I ain't seen you since you, man, got popped. Didn't you, man, get popped against Newcastle 2-0? Didn't your boy Joshua Zirkzee get hooked after 25 minutes? Come on, man. Apparently he was crying in the changing rooms. Zirkzee was crying in the changing rooms. Come on, man. That could never be Nwaneri. Can't chat to us, man. I will say that they went long, and the first goal kick, Flecken went long. Wissa got the flick on. He got ahead of Saliba and got the flick on. Again, Arsenal not winning the second ball that time. We will sign Olmo. You reckon you'll sign Danny Olmo? Danny Olmo from Barcelona to Manchester United, who are down in 12th. Is that wishful thinking on your part? That'll be like the 3rd or 4th attacker you lot have signed. You signed Højlund, and then you signed Zirkzee. Jesus here. Looking for a run. Martinelli went down, so Martinelli's not there to support him. Jesus, good feet. Still Jesus. Just couldn't find the right pass. Couldn't find the right type of pass. Marino's won the ball back from Mbomo. That's what Marino is very, very good at. Can we get the ball out to Timber? We're a little bit congested on this left-hand side. Ødegaard is still trying to find a pass here. I think we switch that and get that wide. And we do get it wide now to Nwaneri on the far side on the right. Nwaneri looking for a cross? No? Ødegaard? This is what I mean about Ødegaard. Like, he's not just looking for the assist all the time, which I get that frustrates players. I do get that. But there's a little bit more, not more to his game than Ozil. But Ozil's better than Ødegaard. But Ødegaard's got a little bit more responsibility than Ozil does, or did. Why is he a free agent? Is that because of the wages thing with Barcelona? I know Barcelona and him are having some legal problems, so now he's a free agent. If he's a free agent, that means that he can. I guess he might just go to the club that's going to pay him the highest wages, which may well be Manchester United. To be fair, is that your hope that you'll just Barcelona can register him? Is that your hope then? You'll just, because you're not the most attractive, not in a rude way. Man United sitting in where are you guys now? 14th. It's not the most attractive club for him to go to. Is your hope just that you guys are going to pay him the highest wages and that's why he'll go to you? Because why would he go there instead of going to some other clubs that he could go to that might be competing for silverware? I think that's definitely a foul from Wissa on Thomas Partey. He's came in on the wrong side. He's come through the blind side of him. Arsenal look to take it quick, but the ref's not going to have it. Yeah, I mean, other than you guys paying him massive wages, which is what Man United have said they don't want to continue to do. They want to put more of a wage structure in place. I don't see why Dani Olmo would go to you guys, to be honest. I think that he could go to clubs with a more attractive proposition right now, in my opinion, surely. Ødegaard looking for a pass, looking for a cross, back stick. Martinelli puts it in the box. Nwaneri tries a shot. Unlucky. I like that from Nwaneri, though. Straight away, looking to get a shot away. He's very goal-focused, Nwaneri. That's. I know there's an argument that all players should be goal-focused. I don't agree. Like I say, Ødegaard is one of those players where that ball retention is an important part of his game. Nice little touch from Saliba. And Saliba, for me, last couple of games looked a little bit shaky. Didn't look his normal self. And granted, his normal self is very, very high standards. He's looked a little bit shaky in the last couple of games. Couple of mistakes here and there. He still had the ability to kind of win the ball back when he has made a mistake. But the mistakes have still been there. So let's see how he gets on. I don't know if he's dealing with the pressure or what it is. But, these things happen. It's not been a catastrophe or anything like that, but just not quite to his same high level. Mikel Merino now. Ødegaard. Finds Gabriel. Is Gabriel going to have a shot? I thought he was going to have a shot there. He kind of teased the shot. Back to Gabriel. And Brentford are so disciplined, they nearly come out of their shape. You can see they nearly get roped in by Arsenal to come out of their shape and they go straight back into their shape again. Good feet there from Martinelli. Partey. We're just moving that ball nicely around the box, but we need to find Nwaneri trying to get to the byline, get a cross away. Do we get a corner? I think we get a corner out of that. Nwaneri's so good, isn't he? He is actually so good. Except Chelsea and now City, I don't think most top teams use this January transfer window. Yeah, I could see that. I think we'll get a player in. Yeah, I was saying earlier that apparently we're going to get Fabio Vieira back, who I am excited by. I do think he's very good. I don't think he's necessarily a big level raiser, but as an extra person to come off the bench, he is another goal threat, similar to Trossard. So I think there'll be some movement from us in this January transfer window. Nwaneri's going to take the corner as well. He's getting a lot of responsibility, Nwaneri. Corner goes towards the back post. It is a good corner. Oh, it was headed back across the box, but Saliba just couldn't get there. That was a well-worked corner. That was a very well-worked corner from Arsenal. Should have probably done better with that, to be fair. Timber, Nwaneri. They just trust Nwaneri so much. Ødegaard, can he find a pass? He goes for a strike and it's well over. I like what I'm seeing. It's not just that Nwaneri's in there just for vanity, or he's just there as an extra body. He's in there. He's playing a big part in this game. They're trusting him so much. They've obviously seen him in training. They obviously really rate him. And he's doing a good job. He's up against Brentford. Brentford have a solid defence. Good structure from Thomas Frank. This is, a very, very organised, structured team. And Wanyeri is able to just, he's not done anything amazing, but just beating the fullback, getting to the byline, getting the crosses across the box. Difficult to do against a team like Brentford. Arsenal win the first ball, Brentford win the second ball. Arsenal trying to win the third ball. Wanyeri's got it out wide. Great feat from Wanyeri again. Just so composed as well. Even the physical side of the game. He doesn't shy away from the physical side of the game. Which, for a 17-year-old boy, you're not even a fully grown man yet. You're going up against, regardless of, technical ability and all the rest of it. You're 17 years old. You're going up against big, strong men. It's men's football. Some players don't really adjust. Ruben Loftus-Cheek was one of those. He had a growth spurt quite early. And if you watched him in the under-21s, under-23s, under-18, he was a bully. He just used to run through those midfields. As he started playing against fully grown men, just couldn't really transition that power and that strength, that dominance into the man's game. Partey brings the ball forward really well. Merino, he's got a couple options. What does he do? Goes wide to Jesus. Jesus goes backwards. There was an opportunity there to get an attack going. Jesus kind of slowed that attack down a little bit. Merino, great ball from Jesus there. Merino, ball across the box. It's not the best ball. Again, Merino picks up such great positions, but the technical ability to actually pick out the passes he wants to pick out is not quite there. Ball over the top from Ødegaard to Wanyeri. Wanyeri's got it back into the box. Calafiori's tried to get ahead on it. Arsenal knocking on the door. It can't be too long, surely. Or as I say that, Wissa comes. Great tackle from Partey. Brilliant tackle from Thomas Partey. To be fair, Wissa was surrounded by Arsenal shirts. Not the best pass from Ødegaard. Got to do a lot better there. And Brentford still look dangerous on the counter-attack. And Bomo up against Calafiori. This is going to be a difficult one. And Bomo's going to look for a shot. It goes in. It's 1-0 Brentford. Just like that. And that is poor from Calafiori. It's poor from David Raya as well. But that is so poor from Calafiori. As soon as Mbomo was coming forwards, you looked at it and thought, you could see, we know he's going to cut onto his left foot. And you even have a feeling he's going to cut that shot into the near post. It's not obvious, but it's obvious-ish. It's something that you've got to be aware of. And Calafiori just not aware of it at all. I think that's really poor from him. I like Calafiori, but that is poor. It all comes from a misplaced pass from Ødegaard. Ødegaard tries to play it like 20 yards on the floor. I think it's Damsgaard who intercepts, plays it wide, and it's just a one-on-one. It's just a one-on-one, and Bomo versus Calafiori. And Calafiori just doesn't, he just doesn't cover himself with glory here. We know when Bomo's left-footed, keep him on his right foot. Don't let him chop on his left. Just a simple chop on his left, and then the shot. Through the legs of Calafiori. Calafiori is very rash, dives in, goes straight through his legs. That is really, really poor. I'm confident that we'll score. We will score. Calafiori stinks. How do you not rate him? I think he's got a lot of potential. And at times, I can see why. I can see Calafiori on the left-hand side becoming what Jurrien Timber is on the right-hand side. But he's definitely not there yet. He's definitely not there yet. And I think that there's a big gap between where he was playing before to come to Arsenal and be part of a title challenge. I think that, he may have benefited from coming to Arsenal when we were fourth and then transitioning into a title challenge rather than going straight into signing and trying to win titles. He doesn't seem like he's quite there. But there's a talented player in there. There is a talented player in there, but he's won that header against... this is going to happen. We've got new players. Marino's new. This is his first season. Calafiori's new. This is his first season. We're going to have these moments. And we will score. I'm confident that we will score, but that had better not cost us. That had really better not cost us. Shouldn't cost us the game. We've had 3 attempts, none on target. They've had 1 shot, 1 on target. And that 1 shot, 1 on target has turned into a goal. And we know how good they are from counter-attacking situations. You know, this is it's what Brentford do, especially at home. Good challenge from Calafiori. Jesus, good play from Jesus as well. Jesus, very, very tidy. Still playing very, very tidy. Brentford is hard to break down. We've had a lot of the ball with them on the edge of the box. We've had the ball on the edge of their box. And they are a difficult team to break down. Very much so. But we will get opportunities. 15 minutes in, it's going to be one of those, or it could be one of those, where Brentford may have scored a little bit too early, if that makes sense, because we will have time to break them down. The problem that we have here is I'm looking at this shape. Calafiori's just lost the ball again to Wisser. If anybody's going to get hooked, it's going to be Calafiori off for Miles Lewis-Skelly, because we remember when Nuno Tavares played and he made a couple mistakes and he just got hooked off he got hooked off in like 18 minutes when the area out wide. But yeah, Jesus seems to be coming really wide on the left, and Martinelli going kind of more central or staying kind of wide to the left as well, which means that there's no one to actually get the ball into. Jesus, that's brilliant feet though. Can we get a shot away? He didn't. He chopped back. Oh, and tried to flick the ball in. He should have definitely got a shot away there. He had two defenders standing him up. He flicks the ball through the two defenders. He gets there and gets beyond the third defender. Thomas Partey dispossesses Wisser again. Thomas Partey playing really well, doing his job perfectly. Thomas Partey's doing his job exactly what we want. Ødegaard plays the ball wide to Martinelli. Martinelli goes for a shot, but just comes off the defender. Martinelli seems to have lost a little yard of pace. Seems to have just lost a yard of pace there. Timber flies into a challenge. And is that going to be a yellow card for Timber? I think it is. Yeah, a little bit of frustration in this Arsenal team. Let's see if that is a yellow card. Timber shrugs off the first challenge, lunges into the second challenge. I'm not entirely sure that is a yellow card. I think it's a foul. I don't think it is a yellow card, though. Yeah, maybe it is. It catches his standing leg. Maybe that is a yellow card, to be fair. And Timber will now miss the next Premier League match that we have. And we've got Ben White to come back as well. Obviously, Saka's out. We do have Ben White to come back. Tomiyasu's in Japan. He's recovering as well. So we have defensive players to come back. Miles Lewis-Skelly's on the bench. You can come on and do a job at left back as well. Zinchenko's on the bench as well. He can come on and do a job at left back. Brian Mbeumo, I mean, he seems like definitely the kind of player that we need at Arsenal. Him or Cunha. You know, Brian Mbeumo coming off the right hand side, I think could be brilliant. Imagine you got to deal with Saka, a fresh fit Saka for 40, 50 minutes, and then 60 minutes into the game, you got Brian Mbeumo to deal with for the last half an hour. That's proper stuff. Partey, another interception. Brentford playing it around a little bit easy, but Partey wins it back again. Partey's won the ball 3 or 4 times already in this first 18 minutes. What we're lacking is shots. You know, we're getting into good positions. We're managing to beat the defenders in some of our one-on-ones, but then we're just not getting shots away. We need more shots here. It's only 18 minutes in, but as time goes on, Brentford will slow the game down more and more and more, and we'll have to go and break them down. It'll be harder and harder to do so. We need to get level quickly. 100%. We need to level it up as quickly as possible. And we just need shots to do that. Brentford playing with the ball at the back, not really coming out of the blocks at all. And Gabriel gives away a foul. Brentford are doing this like they're punching it into the attackers, and the attackers are doing a little flick on time after time. And the Arsenal defenders are just being a little bit rash. It seems like their attackers are a little bit sharper than our defenders are at the moment. Flecken's going to take this. He's going to send it long. We have to get ahead on that first. We didn't get ahead on that first, but at least it's gone for a goal kick. When we get the ball up there, I can see the criticism of Erdegaard a little bit because, you know, we're not... He's really, really good at just retaining the ball. He plays more like a number 8. I feel like he plays in the number 10 position because he lacks that physicality to play a number 8 role. But he focuses on just keeping us with the ball, keeping us ticking over really well. But we're not creating goal-scoring opportunities from him. We're creating more goal-scoring opportunities from Wanyeri, which is good. But if they were both creating these opportunities at the same rate, Raya's just tried to kick it out and it's hit a Brentford attacker. But William Saliba's managed to win it back. And again, it's with Raya. And again, we go long. We go long to Martinelli, who just doesn't have the balance to hold it up. He had the strength and held off the fullback. We just didn't have the balance to hold it up. And I don't know that we should be going long in a position like that. Because we've got Wanyeri, who's not the strongest. We've got Martinelli. We've got Jesus. Those are not players that we want to be going long to. And Brentford just winning this midfield battle here. It's poor from Marino. Marino's just let his runner go. Really, really poor from him. I want to be seeing more from Marino in that midfield. He's won one battle there, and Jesus just shrugged off the ball. Partey intercepts again. And if it wasn't for Thomas Partey, we could be 1 or 2. We could be a couple goals down. Since Brentford scored, we haven't really been able to get back in control of the match. They've had more possession in the last 5 minutes. And to be fair, they're not doing a lot. They are just keeping the ball at the back quite a lot. When they come forwards, we're able to engage with them. But this is what they're going to do. They're just going to slow the game down completely. Now they've got their one goal. You know, that's what it is. We're going to have to work and get that ball back. We don't have Kai Havertz. We can't kind of switch to a target man. We're going to have to go and we'll win the ball the hard way. And Marino seems to just struggle to find... He knows his position attacking-wise, but defensively, he's losing his runner every time. Brentford cut in, back post cross. Martinelli gets it clear. Jesus feels like he was fouled. He's felt like he was fouled a couple of times. And Wissa plays the ball through, but the ball's overhit. We could be 2 down. We're lucky not to be 2-0 down, to be honest. We should definitely be doing better than we are. Again, we've gone long to Jesus. And Jesus is just, he didn't win that battle. He's not going to, I don't know why we keep going long to Jesus. You know, we're better off going long to Marino or going mid, like a mid-size ball to Marino or Partey. Jesus is very, very unlikely to win that ball up against those Brentford defenders. Calafiori's just played an awful pass to Erdegaard, which didn't make it. And now Brentford are in for another attack. Very, very luckily, Brentford's passing is not the best, and they have made their own mistake. And Wanyeri's got Mbomo on him, but Wanyeri's doing a really good job. Really good job from Wanyeri. And the ref, that's a free kick on foul on Erdegaard, and that is a yellow card for Brentford as well. The festive period is a nightmare for top teams, 100%. I mean, you lot should be all right because you lot are shit. But for us, top teams like our guys, yeah, bro, it's a night. I think we've got 9 games in January, which is mad. Me and Shane, between all the football and the boxing as well, I think we're live 22 times in January and February. So, I already made that joke. I already made the joke that you lot. I made that joke first. You can't now come back and make that joke. I already made it. It's too late. We will come back into this. It's going to have to be Partey and Merino. Timber's doing really well. Partey's doing really well. Calafiori's having a nightmare, to be honest with you. He's having a real shocker. Does this serve Arteta right? Is Arteta wrong for not playing Miles Lewis-Skelly? He was playing him before the Christmas break. Miles Lewis-Skelly did really well against Ipswich. He did really well for a couple of games, and then he's been dropped for Calafiori to come back in. It's a good cross. Partey, I thought he might have been offside. And now the flag goes up. I did think Partey was offside, to be fair. It was Wanyeri that got the shot away eventually. But this cross, what was the game plan here? Let's see this. Yeah, I think Partey's offside. He wins the first ball. And then I think it's Wanyeri that gets the shot away. Comes off Lewis Potter, but the offside flag goes up. Wanyeri looks the most likely to score in this team, which is both good and bad. You know, it's positive, don't get me wrong, but it's like you lot having Ahmad as your best attacker. It's like, it's positive, but at the same time, it shouldn't really be that way. Do you know what I'm saying? They've gone long again, and it's worked again. Cut in. David Raya's fluffed the shot. Oh my goodness. David Raya made the save, but kind of fluffed the save. And it nearly went in. He had to make a touchline save. Oh, great feat from Wanyeri. He's actually so good. Erdegaard, we need to create a shooting opportunity from this now. They've got all their players back, but we have the opportunity. Erdegaard just slowing the game down a little bit. Look at the speed that Wanyeri attacks with, and Erdegaard just attacks really slowly. It's a great pass from Gabriel. Martinelli tries to get a shot away. Partey. Wanyeri's got the ball. He can't get a shot away either. Martinelli again. Partey now. Oh, very close. Oh, it's 1-1. Flag stays down. Is it 1-1? Gabby Jesus? I think that is a goal. VAR's going to look at it, I think. But I think that's a goal. 1-1. And that's what we need. That is exactly what we needed. We need some shots. And to be fair, that is Wanyeri and Partey. The two players that I've said who have been the standout players so far. Wanyeri, Partey and Timber have been very, very good. And Gabby Jesus goes and gets his goal. And see what I mean? Like, you know, Gabby Jesus was playing well before Christmas. And I know that Kai Havertz is injured. Let's see this go again. Wanyeri's in there trying to get a shot away. And Bomo tries to turn away from Partey. Martinelli tries to get a shot. He can't do it. Partey gets a shot away, and then it's a quick diving header off of Flecken, and it is onside. It's a brilliant ball from Gabriel as well. Brilliant from Gabriel. Gabriel's passing and chance creation has been so much better recently. People don't see that, but he ball over the top for Martinelli to score before Christmas. He does a lot of great forward passes. Good shot from Thomas Partey. Low. Takes Flecken, makes Flecken make a diving save, and then the deflection. And then Gabriel was there. Gabriel, you know what? In seasons gone by, those are exactly the chances that Gabriel Jesus would miss. You know, he didn't seem to have those striker instincts. Do you know what I mean? He seems to have them now. He said Arteta's management's awful. I mean, if you look at a table of just 2024, Arteta's at the top. I don't think his management is awful. I think awful is unfair. He's come second twice. He's all the stats of defensive stats and all the rest of it. Couple of last season before, free flowing, scoring goals. Only Man City scored more. I wouldn't say awful, but at times he can overcomplicate it. I would agree with you. At times he can overcomplicate it. But I think awful was unfair for a manager who, although he doesn't have the trophies, is come second in back-to-back years and different things like that. I think awful was a little bit too far, but I get what you mean. It could definitely be better for sure. But it's 1-1, and again, it's Thomas Partey, who's putting in a really solid performance. Defensively, he's breaking up play. Marino's just a little bit. Marino was okay in that play, to be fair, but defensively, he's all over. He's at 6s and 7s, Marino. And that's the difficulty. You've got Partey, which is solid. And then in that number 8 position, you've either got Declan Rice, who's a little bit too defensive and too conservative, or you've got Marino, who's good attacking-wise, but not great defensively. It's difficult. Thomas Partey, ball over the top. I think that's from Ranieri, and it was Marino that brought the ball down, but only as far as a Brentford player. Thomas Partey wins the ball back again, but he's dragged to the floor by Wissa, and Wissa tries to go for goal from his own half. Absolutely outrageous. I mean, Saka injury is his fault. Also, you can see Ødegaard isn't fit after the injury, but he's rushing him. To be fair, Ødegaard played 2 awful games when he came. He played one unbelievable game when he was back from injury. Then he played 2 awful games straight after that, and then he played an unbelievable game after that. And we do have a lot of injuries. Who have we got? We've got Trossard and Lewis Skelly. I think Ødegaard is ready to play. Even if Ødegaard comes off and plays, late on, Ødegaard can come off, Ranieri can go into the 10 and Trossard can go wide. But I think Ødegaard should start. He's fit enough to start, even if he doesn't play the full 90. The Saka injury, I would agree, is at least partly Arteta's fault with the overplaying. Marino's played a good pass into Ødegaard here. Ødegaard looking for ball over to Ranieri, or was that Timber? I think it was Timber, actually. But we're getting there. We will get there. Look at that. Fucking hell, what a save. I don't even want to praise David Raya for that, because he fucks it up in the first place. And then you don't think he looks ready. I think he looks fine. He looks fine to start. Whether he plays the full 90 or not is a different conversation. I think he should be coming off after 60 minutes. I think he should be coming off after 60 minutes, but he can start. We have to. It's just what it is. We have a lot of players out injured. Otherwise, how else do we set up? Declan Rice is ill. Kai Havertz is out injured. We'd have a midfield of who? Thomas Partey, Lewis Skelly, Ranieri. It's a good tackle from Calafiori. Calafiori's definitely struggling. He's definitely struggling. On the 15th of January, we've got Tottenham at Arsenal. That's going to be a tough game. We have to see what players are fit and ready when it comes to that game. Ødegaard, great feet. It's good play from everyone in the Arsenal shirts, to be fair. Marino looking to switch the ball. That's good play. From Ødegaard to Jesus to Martinelli, that was all brilliant play. Good little touch and turn from Ødegaard. Timber looking for a cross at the back post. Calafiori trying to get involved. Partey, can he get a shot away? Shot's deflected again. Partey's causing all types of problems for Brentford today. Calafiori misses another challenge on Mbomo. all the players you name, their injury causes is cumulative overplay. Yeah, but we don't have anyone else to play. Who else is? The Odegaard's wasn't. Odegaard's was caused by a challenge. Odegaard is like very, very fit, rarely gets injured. His wasn't. Calafiori was injured at the beginning of the season. That was a freak injury. That wasn't from overplaying. He hadn't even played for us. Marino was injured at the beginning of the season. That wasn't from overplaying. He had a shoulder injury from his first training session. Ben White's is potentially linked to overplay. I think Ben White and Saka's injuries are probably linked to overplaying. It's only them. Kai Havertz's injury is he's sick. There's a sickness bug going around the Arsenal camp. There's only really Tomiyasu isn't from overplaying. He never fucking plays. There's only two players I could say. It's probably Ben White and Saka. They're probably the only two players whose injuries come from playing too many minutes. Brentford have a corner here. Brentford aren't good from corners, but so are we. Is their set-piece coach that we took and their goalkeeper that we took. Bryan Mbeumo coming for the corner. Another audition to be an Arsenal player, maybe. And the corner is not the best. Speculative shot from Brentford. 36 minutes gone. If we can get a second one before the half, we'll really be cooking. Calafiori just played a poor pass, which got caught. Calafiori's been awful. There's no sugarcoating it. He's not been good this half. He's been bad. It's not quite a disaster because he's been bailed out. But again, Jesus comes wide with Martinelli more central. Jesus looking for a little flick ball into the box. Can't get there. The header comes away. It's Mikel Merino, Calafiori. He finds a cross into the box. Flecken jumps at it. Is that Timber? Jesus again. And Brentford have all 11 men behind the ball. Every single Brentford player. There's not one up there for a counter-attack. They're all behind the ball. And Timber tries a little tidy 1-2. Doesn't come off. Erdogan on the edge of the box. What can he do? Can he find a ball? He finds a flick into the box. Goes out for a goal kick. We've got to be better. That's not a bad ball from Erdogan. We need someone who's going to attack it. We need to attack the ball. I think that's what Arteta's saying there. The ball that he's put into the box is not terrible. But who's attacking that? Who's that ball for? You know, I know that we should attack it, but there's no one in the team that plays that type of style of football. When you're playing a game of football, as annoying as it is, you can't just play a ball that you think like someone should run onto and then be like, well, you didn't run. You know they're not going to do it. You know it's not their game. Miles Lewis-Skelly warming up. I wouldn't mind seeing him in the second half for Calafiori because Calafiori's been a bit of a disaster so far, if I'm honest with you. I don't know how else to put it. Flecken going to go long again. Probably going to look for Mbeumo or Wissa. Calafiori wins the header off Mbeumo. Martinelli chasing down Flecken. Can we put some pressure on him? Well won by Timber. Nice up high the pitch. Wanyeri getting into the box. Could he find Erdegaard? He just puts a cross into the box. Martinelli. Calafiori wins a header. Oh, that wasn't Calafiori at all. That was Marina that won the header. And Calafiori loses out to Mbeumo. Yeah, I think Lewis-Skelly against Bryan Mbeumo. For someone that's mobile, Lewis-Skelly's good, athletic. You know, Calafiori's athletic as well, but nah. Unless Lewis-Skelly's got that same illness that other people have got or whatever, you know, if Lewis-Skelly comes on second half and replaces Calafiori, I think that makes a big difference. because Timber's doing a lot of good work. We're just getting killed on that left hand side by Mbomo. It's a good pass out from Brentford. A really good pass. Another good pass. 3 passes and they're in. Poor cross though. Marino cuts it out. And now we are taking our turn to beat everybody behind the ball, camped in the box. Another corner for Brentford. The Calafiori was just not at it. Like just now, like Marino made an interception. The ball was kind of going out for a corner. It was dribbling really slow. He could have tried to get there and marshal it for a throw or something like that. He just decided to leave it. Doesn't really seem fully switched on. Maybe that can change in the second half, but I'd like to see Lewis Kelly on. Corner comes in. Can we get there first? Brentford get there first, but we get it away. And Brentford go back to their goalkeeper. Brentford are just so well drilled. Do you know what I mean? When you look at what they're doing and the way they're playing, they could have some players in there that are not amazing. They don't need amazing players to make this system that they're doing work. They've got players that are intelligent and that understand the system. It's a great switch of play. Calafiori again, just a bit of a dodgy clearance, putting Arsenal under some pressure. That's better. Nice tidy pass back to Saliba. But we're starting to drop the standard in order to complement him. That's a good pass. I was wondering if he was going to spot that pass from Jesus. He did spot it, and Jesus misses out on that pass. Jesus goes down from an apparent elbow to the face. I think it was Damsgaard who's hit Jesus in the face. The ref didn't give it out first, but then there was another similar challenge further back. Let's see this one. Yeah, it's an elbow to the face. It's not on purpose, I don't think. Yeah, Jesus' mouth is bleeding. I'm sure he'll survive. Overall, I don't think we've been bad. It is. I don't want to blame one player, but it's just Calafiori who's been slightly below. There's an argument maybe Martinelli's been a little bit below from an attacking perspective. But from a defensive perspective, they had that one attack and they scored from it. We've had cumulative attacks and breaking down the barriers, and we just haven't been able to score as many as we've managed to both managed to score one, and they've really created a lot less than us. So the problems with this team are what we continually say. Do you know what I mean? It's what we say over and over again. We need a proper striker. Had we had a great touch and turn and nutmeg from Martin Odegaard. Really, really lovely. Nice, tidy play. Just getting to a point now where every time someone plays the ball to Calafiori, you just get a little bit nervous. You just get a little bit nervous and think, a little bit worried. Calafiori again. At any minute, he can turn it on and he can change things. It's really a mental thing. He might need half time to get himself settled, because it really is a mental thing. You need one. Football's all about confidence, momentum. You need something to go his way to get a little bit of a boost of confidence. Martin Odegaard, what can he do? We're always looking at him to deliver us something. He's almost similar to Martinelli, Odegaard, in a certain way. When Yeri lets the ball run for his legs for Jesus, doesn't quite work. Odegaard's almost similar to Martinelli in a certain way, where when the game's played at a bit of a higher pace, it's better for him. Too much time to overthink. Finds the ball to Calafiori out wide. When Odegaard's got too much time to think, he can't really find the right pass. Timber, back to a quick 1-2 with Wanyeri. Can we find a shot? Marino had the ball, but he went back to Thomas Partey. Ball over the top. Marino in for a header. Misses the header. Brentford clear the ball. There's a lot of opportunities for us to attack in there, or for us to get a shot away, and we keep not doing it. It's very, very, very frustrating. The ball is dropping in good shooting positions, and we're not shooting. And you know what? Sometimes the players on their weaker foot, and it's not quite what they want, whatever. I understand that. I understand entirely that, that was Marino on his right foot or whatever, but get the shot away. It's good ball in behind for Martinelli. We've probably got time for one last attack. Partey saying to go back. I'm not sure we do go back. Well, we have chosen to go back to Gabriel. We've got one last attack here before the ref blows the whistle. Or maybe not, actually. We've got a bit of time. A little bit of time. Odegaard again. Out to Wanyeri. He goes step over to the byline. Drives the ball across. Flecken gets it. Not his best. Partey coming forwards. Now we're getting to the last sort of 15, 20 seconds of the half. Marino, Odegaard looks for a cross. It's just not a good cross. It's not awful, but it's just not a good cross. And that's it. That's half time. Who are these crosses for? Who is the cross for? Like 1-1 half time. Is Calafiori going to be on in the second half? That's the question. Is he actually even going to be on in the second half? That wasn't a terrible first half overall, but I do feel that Calafiori just let us down there. If we look at the side, if we look at the game overall, we've had 62% of the possession. Again, same story with Arsenal every week. Same story. We're good, but we're not great. 60% of the possession. 300 passes and 2 shots on target, whereas they've had 4 shots on target. They've had 4 shots and 38% of the possession, and still they've had 2 shots on target. We've both had the same amount of shots on target, and this is why people say that Arteta is good but not great, and this is why people criticise, because you got Thomas Frank, who's got a team that man for man are not better than Arsenal, but in 45 minutes of football, they've had the same amount of shots on target. They've tested the goalkeeper the same amount of times as we have, with not as good players, not as good transfer spend, etc., 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 etc. We have so many opportunities. Let me go through the team because we have a lot of opportunities to shoot and we're just not doing it. Let me look at the team again. And let me rate them so far. David Raya, average. You know, the shot near post shouldn't be getting beaten from your near post. Fine, it went through Calafiori's legs. You didn't see it coming. Should not be getting beat from your near post. It's something that Brian Mbeumo does on a regular basis. We know what he's all about. He's now on 11 goals for the season. He's in that top 5 or 10 goal scorer, 5, 7 goal scorers in the league. We know what he's going to do, cutting on his left foot and shoot. Calafiori, poor. Let's call it what it is. It's poor. If we were going for 4th, I might allow him. We're going for a title. We're trying to battle Liverpool for a title race. What he's delivering today is poor. It's not the standard. Gabriel, very good. He plays the ball in behind. He's good from a defensive perspective. He's been brilliant from an attacking perspective. He's the guy that he trusts. He's the base of the attack. He's been good today. Saliba's been okay. He's just done the minimum. He's done what he needed to do. Timber's been very good. Like I said before the game, I want to see Timber push up high and create space for Wanyeri to operate in. That's what he's done. He's done that really well. Ødegaard. Now let's talk about this midfield. Because to me, this midfield is underperforming, right? And where I say this midfield is underperforming, Partey's been brilliant. Thomas Partey, Wanyeri, Timber, Gabriel. Those 4 have been brilliant. Ødegaard is consistently getting to the edge of the box. He has Wanyeri on the outside, he's got Timber on the inside, and he's got Jesus, Martinelli, and Merino on the far side, the opposite side of the box to aim for. And too many times, Ødegaard has the ball in an attacking position, or we are attacking on the counter-attack. We've got the numbers, we've got the number advantage, and the ball finds its way to Ødegaard, and actually, we don't actually end up attacking or getting a shot on target because he slows down the attack. And I think we think about Ødegaard, he's got a narrative around him that he's the creator. And because there's a narrative that he's the creator, when we're looking to counter-attack, we're giving him the ball, expecting him to create. And although he is a creative player, he's not creating fuck all. Do you know what I mean? He's looking for some of the crosses he's put in are very, very speculative. Right now in this game, if we're counter-attacking and there's somebody that I want the ball to find itself to in order for us to get a shot on target or in order for us to create something, I'm looking at Ethan Wanyeri. If we're all counter-attacking, I'm saying give the ball to Wanyeri. He's the one driving to the byline, dropping the shoulder, dropping the step over, cutting in, getting a shot away, getting a cross away, putting the ball into dangerous positions. And he's doing it, not that Ødegaard can't do it. Ødegaard's a very technical player, but he's just doing it too slowly. And maybe that's the injury. Maybe that is what Amad Diallo was saying in the chat earlier of he doesn't look fit, he doesn't look ready. Maybe that's it. Just the speed of what he's doing isn't wrong, but the speed of what he's doing. There's times when we're attacking and they've got Lewis Potter, Van der Berg, Collins back, and we're attacking. And when we find the ball to Ødegaard, the time he looks and does a step over and turns his body, then they've got Yarmouk back, they've got Norgard back, Damsgaard's back, Janut's back. Everybody's back now. And now, instead of a 3, we've got a 6 that we need to break down, 7 including the goalkeeper. When there was an opportunity just to be in the flow and get a shot away and create something a lot quicker. And we're just creating these chances far too slow, in my opinion. Far too slow. Merino. The narrative around Merino when he came in is that he wins duels. That's what he's meant to do. He's a defensive kind of 8, and he's got to win you lots of duels. Since he's come into Arsenal, he has won a few duels, but he looks better going forwards. He looks more like an attacking number 8 to me. He's more dangerous in the box. He's getting into good positions. He's very, very strong and he can win some duels. But defensively, he's all over the place. He's losing his man on a consistent basis. They're able to run Merino ragged You know, I've not seen what I've seen from Partey is consistently putting his body in the right place, reading the game ahead of time. You know, Marino is probably fitter than he's younger and fitter and quicker. I don't know if he's quicker. Partey is quite quick, but Partey is somebody that's constantly got injuries. Marino's body is probably fresher than Partey's. He's 2 or 3 years younger. He's a little bit fresher, but at the same time, Partey is reading the game so well. He's putting himself in the right position. He's seeing the game 2 steps ahead. He's consistently making interceptions. He's winning the ball back, and then he's transitioning us from defense, transition into attack. When Marino wins the ball, he's not winning the ball enough. But when he does win the ball, he doesn't turn and get the ball to an attacking player. He gets the ball back to a defensive player, who then gets the ball to Partey, who then goes forwards. That's the problem. Similar with Erdegaard. It's only really outside of our back four. It's Partey and Nwaneri who are playing the ball forwards. Marino is backwards or sideways. Erdegaard is mostly sideways. He can do it forwards if he sees it. If he has loads of time, he can play that pass. But he needs to get better at playing that pass. This is the speed of the Premier League. You know, and like I say, maybe it's the injury, maybe I'm being harsh, but the speed of the Premier League, the intensity of the Premier League, he's got to be able to do that even when the game's happening at a quicker speed. You know, Erdegaard is not the guy that helps us counter-attack sometimes. Do you know what I mean? That's my frustration. We have a lot of the ball. We have a lot of opportunities to create attacks, and we're just not doing it. We're just not creating the volume of attacking play that I believe that we should be creating. That's my issue. To be fair, right now, I'm seriously, if I'm Arteta, I'm seriously considering Calafiori for Miles Lewis-Skelly based on that 45 minutes. Genuinely. You know, Marino, he's not really at any risk. Declan Rice and Jorginho on the bench. Declan Rice is injured. He's not injured. He's unwell. He's really unwell. Timber got that yellow card. Silly, not a silly yellow, but whatever. It is a yellow card. Who's our next game? Who's our next league game? Because he's going to miss the next game. Brighton. We play Brighton on Saturday, and we will have no Jurriën Timber for Brighton, which is not good. Who do we have? Kieran Tierney, Kivior. He might end up playing Partey at right back on Saturday, which is annoying because Partey has played really, really well in the midfield today. That is very frustrating. Who else do we have that can play right? That's all we've got, right? No one else can play right back unless he plays Lewis-Skelly right back. But right now, I'm seriously considering. You know, Trossard will come on late. Trossard will probably come on 60 minutes in or something like that. I don't know if I put. I don't know. I don't know if Trossard comes on for Martinelli or if Trossard comes on for Erdegaard and Nwaneri drops into the 10. You know, if we're just looking to get goals, I think Nwaneri drops into the 10, Erdegaard comes off, and Trossard goes on the left, Martinelli goes on the right. I think that gets us two goals in the second half. We won't make that decision. Erdegaard's the captain. He's a senior person in the team. I understand that. We won't make that decision. And he's not played terribly. He's just not doing things quick enough. But Miles Lewis-Skelly coming on for Calafiori, that's got to be cooking. That has got to be cooking, you know, in the not too distant future, because Calafiori today, wow. Really, really poor. I don't know what changes would you guys make, if any. I don't think I'll make any changes right now, just because it's Arteta, and I think that he'll wait. You know, he'll give them a little bit of a little bit of grace, but. Yeah, Amadiano said I think Ødegaard should be off. I don't think Ødegaard's played badly. He hasn't played badly in terms of like Calafiori has cost us. Ødegaard hasn't cost us. So I wouldn't have him off yet because I think that Ødegaard is still in a position where it's coachable. You can still talk to him and say, listen, we need you to do. I would give Ødegaard 10, 15 minutes to play through this and try, because we're bringing him back from an injury, and I get what you're saying. He's been rushed back a little bit because we've got a lot of injuries. I would still try to get him back to get into that level. I'd give him 10, 15 minutes. To me, Calafiori is the one that would be off. Calafiori for Miles Lewis-Skelly, I would make that change now. I don't think Arteta will, but I personally would make that change now. But that's just me. That's just me. Ødegaard, I would give him a little bit of time, let him play through this difficult time. That's how I would, 10, 15 minutes, and then Trossard would come on. Trossard is a goal machine. He'd come on at left wing, Martinelli right wing, and keep Nwaneri in the 10. Because Nwaneri's been really good, really progressive, really positive. He's just, not, other people around him are not as progressive and positive as he is. Do you know what I mean? He's running forwards. He's doing what Amad Diallo does for United, right? He's running forwards. He's dropping the shoulder. He's getting to the byline. He's whipping the crosses. Who else is with him? No one's with him. And Ødegaard has fallen into Bruno territory of just trying to spam crosses into the box, and I don't know who the cross is for, and looking for the killer pass every time. And it's very, very similar to Amad Diallo and Bruno. What I'm seeing with Ødegaard, obviously, like we're doing it at a better level, but what I'm seeing with Ethan Nwaneri and Ødegaard, do you know what I mean? Rice isn't injured, but he's ill, so there's a bug. There's like a flu bug that's going around the Arsenal camp. And Rice and Kai Havertz are both ill, so he's on the bench, but he'll be back. Like he'll be back for next game and stuff. He's not really injured, but he's not feeling too well. So in an ideal world, we won't use him if we don't have to. Obviously, if we have to use him, he can probably come on for 15 or 20 minutes. But he probably feels like he's got to vomit because he's got a bug. So I've played football before when you feel ill and it's not great. Sometimes it's okay if you can help you sweat it out, but sometimes it's not great. So, but Rice is there. But the midfield, I don't know. I don't know if we need Rice. Marino's been okay going forwards. I just need to see more shots. That's what I need to see. Marino needs to shoot more. The difficulty for Marino is he's playing in a left-sided 8. And he's left-footed. So when he's receiving the ball a lot of the time, he's on his right foot. When the ball drops to him a lot of the time, it keeps dropping to him on his right foot. So he can't really get shots away because he's on his weak foot. And so for me, I would still get the shot away personally. I think he just needs to get the shot away. You're a professional football player. It's not on your stronger foot. It is what it is. Deal with it and just get the shot away. But there you go. They're coming out for the second half. They're just getting warmed up for the second half, I should say. I'll tell you what, Brian and Bomo taking corners, scoring left foot cutting goals from the right wing. It's a great audition for an Arsenal player, for a potential Arsenal player. Get him in January, I reckon. What do I need to see now? Calafiori, God knows. Honestly. I think Martinelli's doing okay, but he just seems to. Martinelli is too one-dimensional. He's trying to drop a feint on the fullback, and the fullback just isn't buying it. It's just like that's why he can't get a yard. He can't get a yard of pace. He can't get a yard of space. Martinelli used to be rapid, so he was never technical, but he was rapid enough to create a yard of space to get a shot away. Right now, he's not quick enough to create the space to even get the shot away. That's a problem. That needs to change. But it will. We'll get that. I'm sure we will. Martinelli's always a threat. Defensively as well, I think Martinelli's good. I think Mbomo is better than Delap. And Mbomo's been playing in the Premier League for 4 years and has 4 years of experience in the Premier League. We've seen Delap in the Premier League for 4 months. Mbomo's been scoring goals and doing this in the Premier League for a long time. Also, Mbomo's a winger. Delap's a striker. I want Mbomo now, but I want Isak. Second half just kicked off. I want Mbomo on the wing as backup for Saka. Whereas you're saying Liam Delap to be a starting striker. For a starting striker, I want a better striker. I want Isak to be the starting striker, and I want Mbomo and Saka as our two right wingers. That's a different scenario. Delap is not the next Harry Kane. No, he's not. How can you say Delap is the next Harry Kane? Well, no, I don't think he is. Delap is already 21. He's going to be 22 this year. He's not even anywhere near contention for the England team. How could he be the next Harry Kane? When you say the next Harry Kane, what do you mean? What are you basing that on? By 22, Harry Kane was starting for a Big Six club, and he was starting for England. So how is Delap the next Harry Kane? Talk me through your thought process there. Harry Kane's got something like 280 goals for Tottenham. You think that Delap is going to have 280 Premier League goals in his career? I find that very unlikely. Bit better for Marino, chasing down, trying to win those battles. You think Delap should start over someone like a Watkins or Tony or any of those guys? I still think that Watkins is better than Delap, personally. I think you're massively overrating Liam Delap. What are you seeing? What are you seeing in Liam Delap that's giving you that confidence? Talk me through that. What are you seeing there? He has 7 goals and 2 assists in 18 games. He's averaging 1 goal every 3 games, which is fine. Like you don't rate Watkins. You're mad. I think Watkins is a baller. So you think, okay, if Arsenal were going to put 100 million on Isak, do you think that we should get Isak or Delap? He's a traditional striker. So? Lovely play from Wanyeri. Wanyeri's just calm, constantly calm. Would you take Delap at Man United? You've got Xerxes and Højlund. Would you take Delap as well as an out-and-out striker? Do you think I'm assuming, if you're saying he's the next Harry Kane, I'm assuming you think he's better than Højlund. Poor cross again from Martinelli, but he does well to win the corner. Isak is good, yeah. And for you, are you taking Liam Delap or Højlund? Because Isak's definitely better than Højlund. You say Liam Delap is the next Harry Kane's like the greatest striker England's ever had. You're saying that Liam Delap is going to be the best striker England's ever had. And this is first season in the Championship, in the Premier League. He'll be back in the Championship next year. Corner for Arsenal. Martinelli whips the ball in. Decent corner. It goes out for a corner again, does it? I think it does. Goes out for a corner again. Wissa let it go. I think he thought it was going to go for a goal kick, but it went out for a second corner. He said Højlund is the worst striker in the league. Wanyeri's last corner went to the back post and it caused a little bit of trouble. This is where I want to be seeing Marino really pushing. He's meant to be a big, strong player, big, strong guy, 6 foot plus. And him and Gabriel, I need to be seeing him here. And for me, Marino's he's got some of the attributes, just doesn't actually impose himself in the game. I want to be seeing him impose himself in the game. Corner comes in, Flecken gathers, the ball gets loose. Is it in? It's Marino, it's in. It's 2-1. And it is Mikel Marino. What did I say? I need to see this guy impose himself on the game. And it's Mikel Marino, 2-1. Thank you very much. We'll take that. It's a header that comes from an Arsenal player. I didn't see who the Arsenal player was. Flecken kind of almost got the ball. I don't know if he caught it and then dropped it. It looked like he kind of flapped at it. And then Arsenal got there on the second attempt. That is much, much better from Arsenal. Much better. And I said we would come out better. You know, I would give some of these players 10, 15 minutes to play through the tough spot. Let's see that corner again. Corner comes in, and who is it that's there first? Yeah, it just goes straight at Flecken. And Flecken just swipes it in. Who gets that first shot away? I don't know who that is. I think it might be Jesus. Just takes a speculative shot. It's bouncing around the box. And then Mikel Merino just says, yep, thank you very much. Smashes that home 2-1. Chaos baller. Much, much better. A little bit lucky, but much, much better. (2-1) Arsenal. You're saying you just think he'll be a consistent player for England. You don't think he's going to be Harry Kane's level of career. Okay, cool. I think let me see the table. I think if Ipswich get relegated, Liam Delap goes to a team in the bottom half of the Premier League. I don't even think he goes to a team in the top half of the Premier League. Wanyeri just shoved off the ball there by the left back, but Saliba comes and wins the ball. Ødegaard, that's much better from Ødegaard. Touch, spin, and then release. That's much, much better, much quicker. That's what I want to see from Martin Ødegaard. Nice and fast. It's difficult. It might not come off every time, but in order to, I think we're going to have a much better conversion rate of getting chances and getting shots on goal if the ball's played quicker. Ødegaard is definitely playing the ball a little bit quicker in that. Maybe that's from the goal. Maybe that's the confidence of having, when it's 0-0 or 1-0, or you're losing or whatever, he feels a bit tense. Now we're winning, he can start to warm up a little bit. But he is a captain and he is a player that we look at. And when we are losing, he's a player that we want to be seeing making those changes. Mikel Merino again on the left-hand side. Great ball in from Ødegaard. Flick to Jesus. It doesn't quite come off. That flick from Jesus was a bit wild. Mikel Merino. Arsenal look much, much, much more confident. Yeah, honestly, I think if Liam Delap leaves Ipswich, if Ipswich get relegated, Martinelli is 3-1. What a strike! What a strike! And I said we've got to keep Martinelli on because he's a constant goal threat. 3-1 Martinelli, and he just had a little bit of time and space. I said he can be dangerous when he's in space. His pace doesn't get him enough space, but the ball just dropped to his feet, and he's just had a lovely peach of a finish into the far corner. Brentford knew absolutely nothing about it. Absolutely nothing about it. What a goal that is from Gabriel Martinelli. Let's see that again. Ball comes wide to Wanyeri. Wanyeri drops the shoulder, puts a cross into the box. Brentford gets there first, but the ball just drops. This is what I'm saying about the speed of the game. Ethan Wanyeri just put the ball into a dangerous box. The defender clears it, but as the defender clears it, guess what? It just falls straight. And again, it's Mikel Merino putting pressure on the defender. The defender goes down, and Martinelli, brilliant finish. Goalkeeper knows nothing about it. His feet are planted. Goes straight through two defenders while the defender's on the floor. Job done. Is much quicker. It's the speed of the football that we play. That's the difference. But there's a VAR check because Mikel Merino, there was some contact between Mikel Merino and the centre-back. I don't think there's enough contact to overrule the goal, personally. And the ref agrees. The VAR agrees. That's a good decision. There was contact in there, but not enough to overrule that goal. On, Liam Delap, honestly, I could see him going to like a West Ham. I could see him going to a Crystal Palace. Arsenal could be away again. Ødegaard, what a ball to Martinelli that is. Very, very similar to the Gravenberch ball to Salah. Martinelli step overs, gets the ball across the box, Flecken comes. That's the first time I've seen Martinelli do step overs and get to the byline. That is confidence. It's all down to confidence. He was never doing it when he wasn't confident. Now, if Arteta is a good manager, he has to sub Jesus. Why? For who? Why would that mean he's a good manager if he subs Jesus off? Talk me through your thought process. I think if he's a good manager, to me, I think he subs off Ødegaard. because I think he subs off Ødegaard to get Nwaneri back into his natural position and get Trossard on the pitch. Because right now, Nwaneri, although he's playing well out on the wing, that's not his natural position. What, to protect him for injury? But who, and bring on who? And bring on who? Because if he brings on Trossard, then Ødegaard has to play the full 90 minutes. Yeah, so then you're saying before you said Ødegaard was being overplayed and rushed back from injury, but if he switches Trossard for Jesus, then Ødegaard will have to play the full 90 minutes. So then what? Brentford nearly in, Saliba clears. Oh, Jesus just makes the interception. He's on his own though. No one's running with him. Look at this. Look how slow we are to start to. I guess we're 3-1 up, so the urgency isn't there. But a season or two ago, we're going for blood and we're going for that fourth goal. This is the thing. We've only got, with so many injuries we've only got maybe one of them. Jesus is injury prone though. I think Jesus will be fine. This is what I'm saying. Like, we've got one attacker on the bench who's Trossard. Do you know what I mean? Like, and we've got multiple people that could potentially come off to replace him. So this why when people say, "Oh, Arteta's not a good manager," there's too many things. Calafiori just went on a good run there. He played a 1-2 with Martinelli, and then a 1-2 with Mikel Merino. And I have to say, Calafiori and Merino are cracking me up. Calafiori's cut the ball back to Merino, who's right in the 6-yard box or the 18-yard box, and then Merino plays it back to Calafiori again. Why? Calafiori's out wide. Ref's going to go to his pocket for a yellow card. Who's that going to be for? Is that for Gabriel? You can't lose this game, but if you lose a player, that will cause a problem. Yeah, I agree. Trossard will probably come on. But I'm saying before, it's not as simple as what you said of if he's a good manager, he takes off Jesus. Because if he takes off Jesus, some people are going to say, well, he's a bad manager because he left on Ødegaard. And if he takes off Ødegaard, people are going to say, well, he's a bad manager because he took off Jesus. So it's a complicated, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. You have one attacker on the bench and you have 2 spots that you need to fill. What are you going to do? Sterling, I think, is ill or injured. Yeah, there's no Fabio Vieira. Reece Nelson's on loan. You know, in this position right now, he's a little bit stuck because we have one attacker. And I agree with you. We need one of these guys to come off. But which one do you take off? Also, it's a cross from Brentford. Can Arsenal get it clear? What about Carbia? Yeah, I'm not bringing. I want another goal before I bring on Carbia. What a touch that is from Martinelli. He loses out to Brian Mbeumo, but that was a good touch. Calafiori's on a yellow card, so has to make sure he doesn't fly into challenges. Also, you've got to remember the manager has got all the information from the doctors of how much people should be playing and all the rest of it. So the doctors can sometimes tell him, yeah, Jesus is good for 90, and then at 70 minutes, Jesus gets injured. It's not an exact science. Do you know what I mean? But like he's what can you do? You can only work on the information you get given by the medical professionals. And also Brentford, this game's not done. Brentford is still a very dangerous attacking team. I don't want to go and bring on a Carbia or a Lewis Skelly, and then suddenly they concede and we're on the back foot. You know, it's coming up to 60 minutes. Let's get to 65, 68 minutes. Let's get to as close to 70 minutes as possible. And that's a really good pass from the Brentford left back. Norgard went for a cross, but it just went straight through to David Raya. I want to get as close to 70 minutes as possible, and then we slow that game down. We've gone long to Martinelli though. It's a great ball across. Can we get a shot away? Oh, very, very unfortunate. Jesus felt a hand in his back, but he's not going to get the free kick. I don't think it was a free kick either. It's a little bit too soft. We go long, straight to Martinelli. And Martinelli goes to run the fullback, plays a brilliant ball into Jesus. I can see why he wants I can see why he wants a penalty, but just not enough. Not enough for me. And Carby is also a winger anyway, so it doesn't even really solve our problem. Good header from Saliba. Thomas Partey wins the ball again. Martinelli, can he find Jesus? He can. The ball didn't come quite quick enough. Is that offside? I thought that was very close. I thought that was close for an offside. Should let that one run, I think. Should let that one play out. It's Tottenham versus Newcastle on Saturday. That'd be a good game. Difficult run for Tottenham. We've got Newcastle on Saturday and then us on the following Wednesday. Brentford trying to get a ball in the box. And he goes for a goal kick. Is that a corner or a goal kick? Damsgaard's rolled it for a corner. It must be a corner because the Brentford fans are how it is. I thought it was a goal kick. Brentford's corners haven't been great, but they are good at corners. They're good at set pieces, especially corners. But we've dealt with them so far. They are going to destroy them. Tottenham defence is so bad. Newcastle's a funny team there, man. Newcastle can lose games, but yeah, on this current run of form, we'd think Newcastle are probably going to smoke, especially with the high line. Ref is giving Gabriel a talking to. There's a lot going on in that box. Let's make sure we don't give away a penalty. Timber is both our fullbacks are on yellow cards. So let's not do anything stupid. Timber already misses the next game. Oh, it's a decently worked corner. They tried to go to the edge of the box for Wissa. Arias hit a long throw straight to Martinelli, but Flecken came out nice and quick, to be fair. We should get a fourth goal. I think if we go and get ourselves a fourth goal, then we can look at bringing on Carbia and Lewis Skelly and these guys. Let's get ourselves a fourth goal, get a good cushion. Wanyeri running at the fullback again. Oh, it's great feet from Wanyeri. Not the best cross, but it's great feet. He tried to run him. It didn't work. He reset himself, tried to run him again. I like that confidence to keep doing it. Just keep doing it. Good header from Timber. Timber's been superb. He really, really has. Now we're winning the game. His performance is, not dropping, but he's just keeping it a little bit more simple. But when we were struggling, when we weren't winning the game, and when it was, 1-1, and we were just like, the game was kind of on a knife edge, Timber was the person that was really keeping us progressive, resetting the play, keeping us in the game really, really effectively. I think that this performance from him may go slightly under the radar, but Timber and Partey consistently throughout the game. Look, Erdegaard and Martinelli, Marino's gone down under a challenge, and the ref is not blowing the whistle. Calafiori and Brian Mboma are going to battle for this ball. Calafiori gets it out. Mboma up against Calafiori again. 64 minutes now. I wouldn't mind seeing Lewis Skelly coming on for the last 20. when Yeri gives away a free kick in a dangerous position. Like I said, Brentford not totally out of this. You can't really discount them as a team. You can never really discount Brentford or kind of count them out of it. They're always a dangerous team, especially with these set pieces. Boma is a good goal scorer, but he's also a good set piece taker. And it's him to take the free kick, outswinger. Arsenal get there first. Calafiori's going to get it. Just send it long. Martinelli is like frustratingly weak in 50-50 challenges. Marino, again, not really covering himself in glory in this from the defensive side of the game. The attacking side of the game, he's better. But defensive side of the game, still a bit of a liability. Lovely interception by Timber. Also, you talk about injury prone, Amad Diallo. Thomas Partey's on the pitch for the full 90. He's injury prone as well. Oh, it's a great little touch and turn from Nwaneri. That is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Tried to do a little bit too much. Should have released the ball a little bit earlier, but just touched it around the Brentford defender and ran him. I think the Brentford defender's pride was hurt a little bit. He had to come and make sure he won a challenge. Arsenal have kind of got into cruise control here. 22 minutes left, 23 minutes left. We just had a period of sort of a 5-10 minute period of just being a little bit more attacking, a little bit more progressive. Exactly what I was asking for at halftime. Let's buy our chances a little bit, and that's exactly when we managed to go and get ourselves 2 goals. I think the belief is a little bit drained from Brentford, unless they can find a cross or a set piece. We have to sign Diblin. Yeah, Diblin's a good player. Diblin's a very good player. I still can't believe how much you rate Liam Delap, honestly. It's crazy to me. Absolutely crazy. Well, what's your lot's priorities? Are you guys still going to look at the fact that was talking about Alphonso Davies, and are you guys are looking at like left-sided wing backs? You can have Kieran Tierney, 25 million. We can do a deal. He can play wing back. Yeah, I like a traditional striker as well. Don't get me wrong. He's just not as good as you're making him out to be. Like he's played 4 months in the Premier League. Like he's played most of his career in the Championship. We've seen loads of players come from the Championship and look good in a short period of time. Ricky Lambert or Charlie Austin or any of these guys. Do you know what I mean? He's 21. He's going to be 22 in Feb. I'm not. He's a good striker. Che Adams was good. Adam Armstrong. These types of players. We've seen these types of players before. Good pass into the feet of Martinelli. Decent ball out of Martinelli's feet, to be fair. Offside. I'm not sure that was offside again. The liner has been a bit quick with his offsides. we need to sell Højlund or Xerxes and get one striker. Which one would you rather sell and which one would you rather keep? That's the question. Who would you want to sell? Brentford are making 3 changes now. 70 minutes in. Now I would start making some changes to get some fresh legs on. And like you say, Ødegaard, Jades. I still think it's Ødegaard, really. He's the one that's come back from the injury. You would sell Højlund. £73 million, a big investment. How long has it been? A year? 2 years? You've given up on him already. You told me he was going to be the next Haaland. That's what United fans told me. Now you want rid. I think his shifting is going to be hard. His value is going to be too high, and his wages are going to be too high. So where's he going to go? Do you know what I mean? So Xerxes will not stay. Yeah, apparently there's talk of him looking to go in January already. Does that not seem too soon? He's literally just signed, and already he wants to leave in January. Seems strange to me. And you think that you're going to be able to attract top talent like Danny Olmo? I think it doesn't look good for the project if players sign and 3 months later they want to leave. It's a good pass from Ødegaard. Splitting the defense. That's what Ødegaard is good at. When he's at his best, that's how he plays. We just need to see it more consistently. Ødegaard again. Doing a little bit too much and getting caught in possession. He's still got the ball though. Lovely pass from Wanyeri. Really, really good. Well schooled from the academy. You can see it. He's passing the ball and moving. He's not just passing the ball and admiring the pass. He passes and moves all in one motion, which is really nice. I feel bad for him though, even though I don't rate him, but our fan base didn't treat him like other players. The thing is with Xerxes, he's a technical player, yeah, but he's not a mover. He doesn't move. Do you know what I mean? Like they put I don't know how to describe it. He kind of plays football like Thomas Partey plays football. Do you know what I mean? He's going to receive the ball, touch, and stay on the turn and look for a pass. He don't move on the ball. He can only move off the ball, and he needs other off the ball movers with him. That's a great pass from Ødegaard, and Martinelli just couldn't get there. He needs other off the ball movers to work with him because you're not going to really see Xerxes pick up the ball and travel with the ball like you're going to see Rashford travel with the ball or different. There's different cultures to how you learn football. In England, a lot of the coaching is around dribbling. They're going to coach you to dribble with the ball. Do you know what I mean? Gabriel not happy there. Brentford just were able to come forwards way too easily and get across into the box. He's had to push it out for a corner, and he's not happy. Brentford are making 4 subs. It's 73, 74 minutes in and still no subs from Arsenal, which is a little bit surprising. I'd expect to see some changes. I think Damsgaard's coming off. And the fan base has not been kind to him at all. Brentford corner, 75 minutes in. Norgard, Wisser, Damsgaard, all off. Jensen, Sade. That Sade player is rapid. Corner comes in. David Raya should gather and does gather. He shoves the Brentford player to the floor, or the Brentford player tried to get in front of him, I should say. Ahmad said, I'm telling you, there's a big racist thing in our fan base. Hoyland's thinking up the place every game, but they booed Xerxes. That's facts. Do you know what it is, yeah, Ahmad? I don't know if you live in England or not, yeah, but it's the media here, bro. It's the media here. Like, Ahmad, do you live in England? Or do you live in a different country? Brentford's still trying to. I think what he's done is he's bought on. No, not England. What country do you live in? If you don't mind me asking, you ain't got to tell me. But what country do you live in? I had a feeling it wasn't England. What country do you live in? Just because when you don't live in England, yeah, the only thing I'm going to explain it. When you don't live in England, some people don't understand. Like the media is horrible here. It's very, very subtle. The way they talk about black players, they won't say really obvious racist things. It's very, very sneaky and very, very subtle in the way they do things here. Do you know what I mean? Like a few years ago, Raheem Sterling, when he was at Manchester City, he bought his mum a house, and I think Harry Maguire also bought his mum a house at the same time. And they said, "Oh, okay, sick, yeah." So like when Harry Maguire bought his mum a house, they said lovely Harry Maguire buys his mum a house, or like lovely Harry Maguire supports loving mother. All very positive language. Now Arsenal making some subs. Wanyeri's coming off. Who else is going to be coming off? Let's see. Wanyeri, Calafiori both off, and Marino both off. But when Sterling bought his mum a house, they were like, Raheem Sterling flaunts his wealth and shows off with new luxury home or bachelor pad. Like they just use words, little terminology that is gonna slowly. People don't realize it's happening in their minds, but just slowly turn them and start to look at a different player very negatively. Do you know what I mean? And the media do it here all the time. Calafiori, not his best day. Talented player, but not his best day. But we have to remember, he's only just come to England, only just come to the Premier League. It's a big transition. Mikel Merino, decent going forwards, not the best from a defensive perspective. And Wanyeri was just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Rice is going to come on in that left 8 position. He will be looking to get himself a goal. He scored a goal against Ipswich, a brilliant goal against Ipswich. Trossard is always looking for goals. Any half chance, he will look to get himself amongst the goals for sure. And Lewis Skelly is just going to look to see the game out in a nice, sensible fashion. Can't remember if Mbomo's still on or not. No, yeah, Mbomo's still on. Here he is now. And like you said, Amad Diallo, like you said, Jesus hasn't gone off. He's got injury problems. Partey hasn't gone off. He's got injury problems. Erdegaard hasn't gone off. He's coming back from injury. There was a good opportunity here to give some of those players some rest. And the manager has chosen not to do that. Brentford looking to switch the play. Lewis Skelly with his first involvement does really well to hold the ball up. Yeah, always remember how our fans treat Pogba and Lukaku. But you got to remember, I don't know if you've ever been to England, yeah. But you got to remember, yeah. English people are very how do I say this? English people are very plain a lot of the time. Yeah, not always, but they're very plain. Whereas, you know, black people, African, I'm Caribbean, but African people, Caribbean people, they're very vibrant people. They like to express themselves, fashion, dance, whatever. English people, in their culture, they see fashion and dance and all these types of things. They see that as like showing off. They see it as like over the top. It's not necessary. They think it's only okay to dance if you won the game 4-0, then you can dance. But black people, Caribbean people, African people, they like to dance. You win, you dance, you draw, you dance. You know, they're very expressive people, right? You might wear, if you've got nice, good money, you might wear like a nice chain, a nice, again, English people, they don't really wear the nice chains and these types of, they see that as showing off. So when they see a Pogba, Lukaku, whatever, and they're not winning games, and then they're wearing chains or they're dancing, they're driving a nice car, English people either don't understand it or they get very jealous and very angry over it because it's a different, it's very, very different to their type of culture. So I think that's where you have some problems when a lot of people just don't understand. And that's what, especially like, you know, those guys are French, African heritage, whatever, you know, the culture is just different. The culture is just so different. I think that's where you get a lot of problems. Flecken goes long. Brentford still trying to get back into this game. During Timber almost caught, not quite. Does well. I remember when there wasn't this time. It's not even a black or white thing. Yeah, there were two players that went to Everton. Everton, I don't know if you know, Everton, the club is from a very poor part of England. Yeah, not everyone at Everton's poor, but like it's a very poor part of England. And Dele Alli went there, and Donny van der Beek went there. And they both went there wearing like nice, expensive clothes, Gucci clothes, driving nice cars, whatever. And like the media were unhappy. Long throw comes in. Brian Mbeumo back post. Can he get there? No. And David Raya just does enough to get there. I'll tell you what, Jurgen Timber almost gave away a penalty, just throwing himself at that ball. He almost dived onto the ball, but just did enough to not give away a penalty. 82 minutes in, last few minutes now. Miles Lewis-Skelly coming forwards. I think there's one more goal in this. It could be Trossard. Could be Rice. Trossard tries a ball into the box. Doesn't really go anywhere. No, that'd be Arsenal's throw. But I remember when Donny van der Beek and Dele Alli went to Everton, and the media was so unhappy, and they said, "Oh, you know, you're coming to a town like Everton. Everton's in Liverpool. It's not a town, but you're coming to a place like Everton where everyone's poor and you're wearing these clothes and whatever." And it's like, bro, these men are rich, innit? Like, what do you want them to do? You want them to dress poor just to make the poor people feel better? Like, they're rich, they're millionaires. How do you want them to dress? And that sums up the culture. Like, that's how some people are in this culture. Like, they really want people to not express themselves, or if they've got money, don't show that you have money. Be really humble, you know, and that's fine. Like, you can be humble. There's nothing wrong with that. But if somebody wants to wear nice clothes, that's nothing wrong with that as well. It's up to them. It's their money. They can do what they want. But that's the culture here. That's why I think so many of the players, especially the black players, just don't really gel with the culture. That's why they like Saka. A lot of people like Saka. You know, even Saka has racism sometimes, but that's why a lot of people like Saka because he's very quiet, very humble, you know. But so what? If he didn't want to be humble tomorrow, he's allowed to be not humble if he wants to be. You know, everyone's different. Everybody's different. I see it's difficult living in England as foreigners. Nah, man, it's okay. Like, especially like if you're African, there's so many African people here, so many black people here. It's okay. Like, if you're from different parts of the world, it could be, depending on where you come from, it could be difficult. But England's okay. It's up and down. Right now, we're having a difficult time. Timber makes another tackle again. Martinelli comes away. I think Timber made a foul there, and the ref didn't call it. But there was definitely a foul that Timber just made. Timber had 3 or 4 swipes at the player's leg, and the ref didn't call the foul. So I can see why. I think it's Lewis Potter. I can see why he'd be unhappy with that because there was a foul in there. Timber very lucky. But no, I wouldn't say it's difficult. It's not difficult to live here as a foreigner. We have so many foreign people. If you go to a big city like London, Birmingham, big city, it's fine. But it's up and down. Right now, we have some people in politics here who's like doesn't like foreigners. So it's a difficult time right now. But generally speaking, it's okay. It's not a problem. But again, it's the media, bro. It's all the media. When you're walking down the street, you talk to people, everyone's fine. But if you're rich, people, lots of jealous people. There's jealous people everywhere. Brentford just playing it out the back, trying to find that pass. Like I say, Jury and Timber very lucky. He's had a couple of fouls he's given away. The ref's not called. There's been a few. None really second yellow worthy, but definitely foul worthy. Saliba just steps in and stops that ball, making it to Mbomo. Timber again. He gets the foul. He buys the foul really, really well. Really well. I think that's Lewis Potter really frustrated there. He's just done really well frustrating Lewis Potter. Now on comes Jorginho to see the game out. I don't want to jinx it, but Jorginho has actually turned out to be a fantastic signing for us. Really, really good signing. David Raya sends it long. And I'll tell you what, I might look at Thomas Partey as a potential man of the match. I'm not going to lie. He's been so good. I'm curious to see who TNT Sports are going to give man of the match to. Gabby Jesus has just been fouled and his shirt is completely ripped. And the ref's not given a foul for it. I'm not even seeing a replay of it. It is Erdegaard that's going to come off and Jorginho is going to take the armband and come on. Where's Jorginho going to go now? In the 10? Oh, they'll just drop to a flat back three, maybe. A flat midfield three, maybe. This season, top four is stacked. Who do you think is going to get top four? Who's in contention? Liverpool, Arsenal, Nottingham Forest. Oh, we've just gone back over Nottingham Forest as we win this game. Unless Brentford score 2 goals in the next 2 minutes, but I find that unlikely. Well played from Timber. Timber or Thomas Partey. Got to be man of the match. Got to be. They've been so good consistently through this game. Chelsea can make top 4. Newcastle can make top 4. Man City might not make top 4. Man City are there. Bournemouth, Fulham, Aston Villa. Between Arsenal and Aston Villa, there's a good few teams. Maybe not Arsenal. Maybe you think Arsenal's going to get top 4, but from Chelsea down to Villa, there's 6 points between 4th and 9th. 6 points. So a lot can happen in that space. Good tackle from Lewis Skelly. Brentford really trying to come forward and get themselves a goal. They've got a few of their young players on. Flash the ball across the box. Martinelli's there just to keep it safe. And Raya sends it long. So you don't think that Forest will stay in top 4. You never know. Two-time European winners. You never know. Forest may finish top 6. That's my dad's team. My dad supports Nottingham Forest. Newcastle, Arsenal, Liverpool, maybe Chelsea. No Man City then. You don't think Man City, every year Man City put that run together, 10 games run. You don't think that that's going to happen this year? You think Man City outside of top four? 4 minutes of added time in this game. It's just hit 90 minutes. The game's turned a little bit scrappy since the substitutions have been made, but that was always going to happen. Arsenal have managed the game really, really well. Why not, man? Everyone says every year, last 10, 12 games, that's a brilliant cross from Brentford. But the attacker, I couldn't see who that was. We just couldn't get a head on it. Nice cross through. Little kind of whipped, floated cross through, straight through the back four. Attacker could not get any contact on that. They are done. Pep has no clue. I don't think Pep has no clue. I don't think that's true at all. I think that the players have down tools on Pep Guardiola. I think the players have given up. And you know what? For the whole time that Arsenal had Arsene Wenger, and we weren't, they've given Gabriel Jesus player of the match. I don't think I would have given Gabriel Jesus player of the match personally, but he's coming off now. Is Karbia coming on? Is Ismail Karbia coming on? Zinchenko's coming on. Interesting. But yeah, for the whole time that Wenger was coming top four and was underachieving and all the rest of it, the players never down tools on him. Never. The players at Arsenal would never just give up on the manager and down tools. That would never happen. Emery, it didn't happen. Like, the players weren't good enough, and they tried, and they just couldn't win. But they never just gave up like how we're seeing Man City players give up. And Pep's meant to be one of the greatest managers of all time, and they're just giving up like that. I can't believe it. Trossard, good ball through to Declan Rice. Nice little touch, turn. Rice back to Zinchenko. It's a really good play. They've given the player of the match to Jesus. Like I say, for me, it would definitely be Thomas Partey or Jurriën Timber. They're the players that have just been consistent. I know Jesus got the goal, but he got the goal from Partey being the person to break the mold and get the shot away. You know, I think it's got to be one of them two. Who would you guys have as the player of the match for Arsenal in this half? I just don't think I can give it to Jesus, but for the performance that Partey and Timber have put in today. Brentford, difficult place to go. You know, to come out of here with a 3-1 win is really, really good. Really, really good. They're difficult to beat at home. Arsenal now unbeaten in 5, more than 5 actually, but back-to-back wins. Nottingham Forest on a run of 5 wins. Newcastle on a run of 4 wins. Tottenham only have 1 win in their last 5, and they're about to play Newcastle. That's going to be a very, very difficult game for them to win. Partey or Nwaneri. Yeah, for me, Nwaneri just a little bit below Timber and Partey. But yeah, those three consistently, when it was 0-0, when it was 1-0, when it was 1-1, the whole way through the game, those three were consistent. Especially I think I might have to give it to Thomas Partey. And that is time. Full-time whistle was gone. 3-1 Arsenal. Listen, man came to hate watch Arsenal, and it was never going to happen. Do you know what I mean? Goals from Martinelli, Marino, Jesus. And I did say, like, you know, at half time, I said I wanted to see more shots from Martinelli, and I said I wanted to see Marino impress himself on the game and impact the game a lot more. And that's definitely what happened. They weren't amazing in the second half, Arsenal, but there was a 10-15 minute spell where they just played the ball a little bit quicker. Erdegaard played the ball a little bit quicker. Wanyeri played the ball a little bit quicker. A little bit more urgency from Marino as well. And they were able to get themselves goals. And I hope that, there's a level that we can hit. Last season, the season before that, there were certain levels of output that we had, and we haven't had those levels of output this season. But that being said, people talk about Arsenal struggling to score goals and different things like that, and we do. We have struggled to score goals, and we struggle. It's not just scoring goals; it's struggling to be creative. Do you know what I mean? People talk about set pieces, and we struggle to be creative and different things like that. But genuinely speaking, today we scored 3. Last game before we beat it, before Ipswich was 1-0, we put 5 past Crystal Palace, 3 past Crystal Palace before that, 3 past Monaco, 2 past Man United, 5 past West Ham, 5. We had a period of time where we were struggling to score goals early in the season. We lost 2-0 to Brentford or whatever. But coming through October, September, November, the goals have definitely started to fly in 100%. We've been much more free flowing from goals. I don't think any of the goals today came from set pieces. It's all from open play as well. So we look much more impressive and much more cohesive as a team. We needed that time. We're bedding new players in. Marino is a new player to come in. Calafiori is a new player to come in. Wanyeri, although he's been around the club, he's new. He's breaking in as well. Sterling doesn't seem like it's worked out. We have those players coming in as well. We still, for me, need another winger to come in and cover. I would love to see Brian and Bomo come and cover Saka's position, and I think those two could be a formidable force on the right-hand side between them with all the games that we've got coming up, and I'm sure he'd love some Champions League football. Cunha could be coming in as well. So as much as we're saying Arsenal since October have been scoring 3s, 4s, 5s, today we scored 3 again. There's still another level for us to go in terms of attacking. That's this season. In the summer, I want to go big. I would happily keep this exact team, and in the summer, just put 150 million on Isak. Just that, especially if we could make some of that money back from the sales of Kivior, Zinchenko, different players. We could make 40, 50 million from sales, and we go and put 150 million on Isak next season with the same midfield, the same team that we've got now. I'd be very happy with that. Today, 3-1. Not a classic performance, but a good performance in spells. We got caught on the counter-attack. Calafiori wasn't at his best, and we got caught with that counter-attack. But other than that, I think we've been playing some really, really good football, and there's a lot more to come. And the really great thing for me today, Thomas Partey, outstanding, my player of the match. Jurriën Timber, I thought was fantastic. But seeing Ethan Wanyeri be able to put in good quality performances in the 10 position and then good quality performances, the same level of performance out on the wing as well, I think is really, really impressive from him. So really, really positive. Listen, like the video and subscribe. Like I said earlier, it's been an amazing 2024, or was an amazing 2024 for us. It's been great. We thank every single person that comes in and talks and comments and watches the videos and all that kind of stuff. 2025, we've got even more things coming for you, interviews and training videos and all types of cool stuff that's going to be coming in 2025. Thank you for being part of the journey. Big love. I am out. Love every time.